The IRS just froze someone's bank account this morning. It happens more often than you think. In fact, I deal every week with situations like this where a bank account's been levied or a paycheck has been garnished, a notice of federal tax lien has been filed. And the truth of the matter is, you can avoid this from happening to you by just making some simple, straightforward decisions. It's the little decisions that keep you out of trouble with the IRS. Hi, I'm Jim Flouse. Before I describe the steps you should take to avoid a bank levy from the IRS, let me just say I help taxpayers every week to resolve IRS issues, end their IRS stress, even settle for less than they owe, and get a fresh start, which is really what IRS problems are all about. Every IRS problem has a solution. You may think yours is too big, too unusual, too crazy to fix, but trust me, I've heard all the stories, I've seen all the situations, and frankly, the IRS has too. And there are ways to resolve this. At the end of the day, the IRS doesn't want to freeze your bank account. They don't want to take money out of your paycheck. They don't want to put a lien on your house. They just want to get you back into the system where you're making payments and filing your returns. And you may be saying to yourself, but I don't have any money. There's no way I could set up a payment plan. Well, if that's the case, we've got a plan for you. The IRS can put you on hardship status and you get no collection letters, no bank levies, nothing for 2 years while you rebuild your finances. That's just one resolution path. There's many others. But let's talk specifically, how do you avoid an IRS levy? How do you avoid your paycheck being stolen? How do you avoid a lien? It's the little decisions. And the first one is open the IRS letters. Heck, I've had people come into my office with grocery bags full of letters. And I'll say to them, okay, what's your situation? How can we help you? And then they just pull these letters out of their shopping bag. And yeah, then we have a letter opening party, right? And there's 35, 40 letters. There's probably one letter for each year they didn't file. And then there's a series of 3 or 4 letters for each year. There may be 30 letters in there. You know, if you'd have just opened the first one, circle the deadline for when the response is due. And the second part is don't just open the letter, respond by the deadline. Now, even if you can't afford to pay your taxes, respond by the deadline, okay? Here's why. Silence equals risk. If you're not responding to the IRS, then they're just going to ratchet it up. They're going to ratchet it up. They're going to send something more threatening. They're going to levy a bank account. They're going to steal your paycheck. They're going to seize your house potentially. But in the beginning, if you just respond, then that is golden. That's what keeps you out of trouble with the IRS. The problem is most taxpayers don't know how to respond, don't know what to respond with, don't know, where they are in the cycle or how they can get the IRS off their backs. Don't just sit in fear about what the IRS will do or worry about whether you can afford to handle the payments. The key is just respond. And the third step is get a tax professional like myself who's used to dealing with IRS collections. Now, there's lots of tax preparers, lots of CPAs, lots of tax lawyers, lots of enrolled agents. Here's the problem. 99% of them don't want to deal with IRS collections either. They want to prepare returns or they want to help you plan strategies to get out of tax debt. That's not the deal. You need someone who knows the IRS collection cycle, who knows what the next step is, who can be a disruptor and avoid the next problem step. I do this all day long. If you need help with an IRS problem, comment help in the comments below and let's connect. We can do it offline. We're not going to air out your tax problems on social media, but just comment help and let's see what we can do to get you a fresh start. I'm Jim Flouse. Please share this video with someone who's in trouble with the IRS. Please like it, and most importantly, please subscribe. That would mean the world to me. We'll see you next time.